And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another one of these ranking lists. A couple days ago, you saw my top 15 favorite movies that I've ever watched. So today we're getting to the opposite, my top 15 worst movies that I've ever seen. Out of all four of the lists, the two gaming lists and the two movie lists, this is the list that I am most solidified on. In fact, it wasn't until a certain movie that we just recently watched that this was just a top 10, and a very solidified top 10 at that. But bad movies always will be around, and so it got expanded to a top 15. I'm not going to go into it too much, but before we get into the main list, I want to touch on some dishonorable mentions, and my God, are these dishonorable mentions. Number 15, I have Speed Racer. Now, when I expanded this from a top 10 to a top 15, I had really two spots left to fill, like I did for my favorite movies list. And any of those dishonorable mentions could have been put in there. But I decided to throw in Speed Racer. Why I threw in Speed Racer is the movie is way too long of a movie that does nothing's really done at all in the movie. The action scenes, the animation, CGI, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is horrible, even for 2008 standards. And the acting's not that great at all. It takes way too long to get to the point. Like, this is almost a 3-hour movie. Does not need to be that long. Does not need to be. There's no point that this movie needs to be 3 hours long. So that's why it's at number 15. Because it is truly an endurance test. At number 14, I have The Box Trolls. What can I say other than British? Yeah, the accents aren't fun to listen to, but you know what? It is what it is. You know, maybe it's a good movie, otherwise, no, it's not. It's not. Characters are bad. The setting's bad. Didn't just not a fun movie to watch. Really not a fun movie to watch at all. All right, number 13 is A Christmas Story. Now, I watch A Christmas Story every year on Christmas, as most people do probably. I have to put this movie on the list, though. It's not that bad of a movie. It's not great, but it's not that bad. Why I put this movie at number 13 and why a lot of other people probably put this movie on their worst movies list is because it's shoved down our throats every year. This movie is far from the best Christmas movie ever made. In fact, you saw the best 2 Christmas movies ever made on my favorite movies list a couple days ago. My thought process, but it's just shoved down our throats every year. Like, we don't need a 24-hour Christmas Story marathon every year on TBS. We do not. We do not. There are better Christmas movies to watch. Not A Christmas Story. So that's why it's at number 13. Number 12, I put The Gambler. The Gambler was originally in the top 10, but a couple other bad ones came in and knocked it down. But it's with the list expanding, it does find its way back on here. The Gambler is one of the most infuriating movies that I have ever seen in my life. Because it promotes gambling addictions. And just one more spin and you'll win it all. Like, there's so many times where this guy should have just gone to Gamblers Anonymous and doesn't. Just doesn't. And it's really frustrating. Because this is not an old movie. This is 2014. Gamblers Anonymous definitely did exist, especially in areas where, like, California and shit. It's not. It just pisses me off that they completely ignore it. They don't even like acknowledge it. Everybody in his like support group is just like, yeah, you're gonna just have to gamble your way out of it. Sucks to suck. Pisses me off. Really pisses me off. The only good part of this movie, just like the only good part of Speed Racer, is John Goodman. All right, at number 11, War of the Worlds, the 2025 War of the Worlds movie. Everybody that I've seen has put this movie in their top 5, if not their number 1. I put it at number 11. It's not as bad as people say it is. But holy shit, it's pretty terrible. Like, the fact it's still on this list. Let's not ignore that. It's still on this list. Ice Cube just doesn't have it here. I'm sorry. Like, and the whole thing about him just being on a camera in the government building watching this whole shit happen. Like, that's not, no. Don't like that. The son is wild, and then you have Roderick, not at all just distracting from the fact that this is a giant Amazon ad made into a movie. It's a horrible experience. Do not watch this movie. It is. But on the contrary, it's far from number 1. So I guess he gets that. Okay, at number 10, off the top 10, I put the B movie. And, yep, it's the B movie. Originally, this movie was not on the list, but after our rewatch of it, I had to put it on here. I forgot how absolutely terrible this movie is. The characters, like, the main characters completely suck, especially the girl. The girl just, like, falls head over heels for a bee. Joe Swanson's crash out in this movie, very much deserved. Very much respected. I mean, anybody, I would. If I was his position, I definitely would. It's not good. Like, at all. Like, there's not really many redeemable qualities. Kind of like what I talked about with the Shrek movies and Rango in the other list, where I thought, oh, it's going to be better as a kid versus watching as an adult. No, this movie is better watching as a kid and worse as an adult. The Mortuary Assistant comes in at number 9. Yes, it's a jump scare movie, but that does not distract from the fact of how bad the acting is in this movie. It's not at all faithful to the game. The letting strip thing really pissed me the fuck off. The characters suck. The acting sucks. It's choppy as shit. Way too short. Thank God it's that short, though. Yeah. I just recently made a review of this. I don't need to touch on it too much, but bad. Very, very bad. It should say how bad it is that it broke up the top 10 that I had very much solidified and forced me to make it a top 15. Number 8, I have Home Alone 4. Home Alone 4 is unfathomably cringe. I don't think there is a cringier movie. Well, there is a cringier movie. There's actually several more cringier movies. I don't know what I'm saying, but Home Alone 4 is god awful. At least with Home Alone 3, they change up the names of the characters. Kevin to Alex. Parents are different. Siblings are different. Enemies are different. setting's different. I mean, well, kind of, not really. In this movie, though, they try and make it the same. They bring back apparently it's supposed to be the same parents and the same siblings, and Kevin and Marv's back, or Harry or Marv's back. What the fuck? I think Marv. But there's no Harry, and then there's the fucking girl, and then there's what the fuck? Like, and it doesn't work because there's actually none of the same actors, so they don't give off the same vibes. Why are you changing? Why are you doing this? Why are you fucking doing this? Makes no fucking sense. It's Kevin is so cringe. I can't even describe how cringe Kevin is. Yeah. This movie is 100% deserving of its placement. God awful movie to watch. I can't believe I've watched it several times. 1 is too much. 7 is To Kill a Mockingbird. Yes, the movie To Kill a Mockingbird. I will say, it's been quite a long time since I've seen this movie. I watched it back freshman year of high school with Dan Snake, actually. We watched it for a school project. Well, it was not like a project. It was like just a general assignment, but we had to watch the movie. So we decided to watch it together and do the assignment. Oh my god. This movie is so boring. Now, I've read the book. I know that the book is long, takes a while to get to the point, but there is a lot of good dialogue in the book, and there is a lot, and when they finally get to the climax of the book at the courthouse, it's great. So I was expecting kind of similar. I had to expect that going into this movie. Nope. It's just straight boredom. The courthouse scene is completely butchered, and I think it's an insult to the book. The characters suck. And that's terrible. Now, this is the only movie on this list that doesn't have a review. Like I said, I watched it all the way back in freshman year of high school. The channel didn't even exist at that point. So, I do want to rewatch this movie and actually see if it's actually this bad. But as it currently stands, I had to put it at number 7. This was in the top 5 at one point, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to let you know that. So you could say, oh, it's a controversial edition. I will get around. This isn't a marathon. We will watch it again. But as I know it, number 7. Number 6, I have Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul. When we did the Diary of a Wimpy Kid marathon, I had a good feeling that this movie would crack the list. And it did. Oh my god. Everything that you have heard that's bad about this movie, because I really don't need to go into it too much here. Everybody's talked shit about this movie. It's true. It's true. Hashtag not my Roderick. But Roderick's not even that bad. It's everybody else. Yeah. Cracking off the top 5, and this might be a kind of a redundant edition, but I'm putting it in here anyways. It's The Starving Games, a parody movie of The Hunger Games, with a lot of different pop culture parodies put into it. I felt bad putting this movie on the list because it's supposed to be bad. It does what it needs to do, but objectively, I can't not put this movie on the list considering what it is. I just can't. I'm not really going to go into it too much though. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. All right, at number 4, we have Morbius. Yeah, another one that people have talked a lot of shit about. So I don't really need to go into it too much here. It's monotonous, boring as fuck, and terribly done. Just like most Marvel movies. Sorry, I said it. All right. Now let's get into the real bad stuff. The really bad movies. Number 3 is Wreck-It Ralph 2. Oh my God. Talk about a bad sequel. I talked about in the favorite movies list how it's pretty rare that a good sequel can come along. It's not very, it's pretty common, I'd say, actually, for a bad sequel to come along. And there's no sequel. I'm going to stop where I'm going to talk about there because we got to talk about a couple of spots a little later. It's hard to be as bad of a sequel, though, as Wreck-It Ralph 2. I mean, oh my God. This movie dove into all of the bad, like, social media and political trends of 2019 and just made a complete mockery of all of its characters, especially Ralph. And this movie has not aged well by any means, especially the Colleen Ballinger part. Do I need to say more? And number 2, oh God, we're talking about this movie again. Little Rascals comes in at number 2. I'm surprised that I still have hearing after watching this movie. Or maybe I just have the fallacy of hearing because my brain went into a catatonic state after hearing so many high-pitched kids screaming voices for 2 hours. I can't even with this movie, dude. Like, it is so bad. It is actually, like, infuriating to watch this movie. I mean, it is not a good movie by any means. And then at the end, it's like, oh, no adults. And then they throw in, like, fucking Donald Trump and a bunch of other adults at the end of the race. What? That was crazy. Done. Really, any normal moviegoer would have this movie at number 1, Little Rascals. It's cringe, too long, does nothing, makes you want your ears bleed. But folks, if you watch this channel, you know what number 1 is. You know what's coming with number 1. Number 1's actually a 10-way tie. If I put all these movies down on the list individually, there would be no list. That's why I had to make them all number 10 or number 1. Without a doubt, number 1 is the Evil Bong movies. I don't know if I have had a more monotonous, excruciating, and downright disturbing viewing experience as watching these movies. I really don't know if I have. These movies are so unfathomably bad, and the fact that me and Jeffy did not die while watching all these movies at once is astounding. Rabbit is a terrible character. There's a ton of boobs, which you would think is good, but it somehow becomes too much. The kills aren't even that great. There's not even really any kills. The bong stuff is weird as fuck. Then they throw in Ginger Dead Man at later on. And there's like this whole fucking expanded universe now that we gotta go through. These without a doubt. These without a doubt are the worst movies that I have ever watched, and they all deserve to be number one. The fact that there are 10 of these fucking movies as well, give me a break. Jesus. Oh, God. Alright, guys, that is it for my top 15 worst movies list. This movie list is very much solidified. It is going to be very hard for any movie to crack into this list. Maybe number 14 at best, but it's very solidified. And I have a feeling that this list, though, is going to change, especially with some of the marathons that we've got on the list. This was fun, though. This was fun doing, finally getting these ranking lists out. I've worked on these for a while, so now it's finally good to get these out. These will be updated as I watch more movies and play more games. These eventually will get updated, but I'm going to leave it as it is for now, just because I think it's pretty fun. So, with that in mind, guys, that's going to do it for this video. What do you think of my list? How many of these movies have you seen? What would be your top 10 worst or top 15 worst? Where would you rank mine? And what bad movies do you think I should watch next? Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for much more amazing content. Until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.